This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, for your half-assed entertainment news with no bullshit, with our hosts, the Baroness and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk 4 Media.
Hi, welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Diamond Lil, and we are on with my co-host, Hair Bear's Not Wearing Pants.
I'm wearing shorts. All right, fair enough. It's not pants. It's not khakis.
Do you know how many times he has done this show in his panties?
Shorts. No, my what?
Your panties.
You can't do that. You can do it with me because I get what you're saying, but everyone else thinks it's legitimately women's underwear.
Why would you wear women's underwear?
That's my point, because that's what they differentiate between men and women with that term, that phrase. You know what I mean? Don't move. You've got a hair right there. You go.
I also have
a tiara. One of the cats.
I also have a tiara, and you didn't notice.
You have a beautiful tiara on top of your head. Mm-hmm. Yes. I love the stones in there, actually.
So do I. I have 3 like this. I actually really like this. Like it's a pretty chill tiara. I also have gorgeous ones, but this is my fun one.
Yes, so you were like all studded out today. I am just in my
hence I said Diamond Lil. But it's an old story. I don't know. My grandma always said Diamond Lil.
What is Diamond Lil?
Diamond Lil?
Yeah.
Diamond Lil is, I have no idea. Alexis, will you please Google who Diamond Lil is? My grandma, shout out to my grandma Lorraine, one of the originators of the women's rights movement and right to choose. Love my grandma Lorraine. She was a badass of all badasses. Still afraid of her, and she died years ago.
You know,
more
she
afraid
can come
of
back.
my other grandmother because she's alive.
Played by Mae West.
Mae West.
Played by
Diamond
Mae West.
Lil was played. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Alexis is a fan of Mae West, so it makes sense she would know that.
I don't know who Mae West is.
One of the greatest actresses of all time.
All right.
Best quote from Mae West. It's not the men in your life, it's the life in your men.
Yes. Okay. I recognize that quote. That's as famous as like diamonds are a girl's best friend from
Marilyn Monroe. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, not her. I learned not this year, but as an adult last year that Marilyn Monroe was not her name.
No, it was Norma Jean Baker.
Norma Jean Baker. But they didn't like that because it wasn't as flashy or didn't fit an image or something.
My name wasn't Summer Helene.
This is true. It's
I mean, I am the Baroness of Ayrshire and Glen Lyon, but my actual legal name is not Summer Helene. I have like 9 names.
That's because they gave you a bunch of. Isn't some of your names religious related though?
Yes, I was also baptized Catholic, so that. And they give you at your confirmation a bunch in your baptism. But cutting that out, legally, I have a lot of names too. I have like 9.
What is who leads a Catholic church? Is it a pastor or a priest?
A priest.
A priest. Okay. I always get those 2 mixed up.
Pastors assault little girls. Priests assault little boys.
Well,
that's how you can remember the difference.
The reason I thought this right now is because a priest assaulted our neighbor back when he was in the Marine Corps.
So that's why I say what you do is you ask not on where on the doll they touched, but was it a boy or girl doll they touched? Then you know if it was a priest or a pastor.
That's how you. Well, that gets you it's the intro, like where you start searching, like whose churches you're going to walk into to figure that out.
Do you want to be assaulted by a man or a woman?
Can you have women as pastors or priests?
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was only men and like
no priests. You cannot have a female priest.
Yeah, and they can't have any kind of marriage or anything like that.
No, they also take a vow of poverty and things like that.
Yeah, vow of poverty.
Though I am learning about American Christianity.
Oh my God,
I'm enjoying it so much. I'm actually enjoying it so much. I'm doing a TV series, a Christian reality show, which I didn't even know was a thing. I'm making one of those right now, and I am loving the hell out of it with Lauren Powers. You guys know her. She's a friend of the show. And so we're doing this Christian reality show. We're talking to her preacher, and he's a nice dude. Like, there are some nice people in the Christian faith.
Oh, no,
I feel really bad.
Kind.
No, I thought American Christians, like, played with snakes and hit each other with hats and things.
Why would you get this impression?
I think I've watched a lot of television.
What television shows do you watch? You show American pastors at that point beating each other with snakes.
No. The ladies hit each other with hats and fans.
Okay.
And they hold snakes and say, Jesus will protect me, while they get bit in the face by a snake.
I think you found a cult. I don't think you found like an actual church that people
No. The one I'm going to is an actual church. There's no snakes.
That's your qualification. Hey, is your church have snakes? You're a cult. That's for sure. That no snakes, legit.
I just don't know much about American Christianity.
All this tells me that if I want you to join my church, I need to not have snakes in it. And that's a very doable thing for me. I can easily do that.
You're agnostic.
I will start a agnostic church.
Oh my God. If you join the Flying Spaghetti Monster Church, I'm so in.
I don't know that one.
So atheists got mad that Christians and
Jedi.
Jews and Muslims and Buddhists and Taoists get like time off, essentially.
Yeah.
So their whole thing was, well, hang on, these major religions get time off of their religion. We should have a religion too. So they invented the Flying Spaghetti Monster, and they have to wear a colander. And one dude actually got to wear it in his driver's license photo. I was very, very impressed.
It's not any better than fucking Xenu from Scientology, that's for sure.
I didn't bring that up as a religion on purpose.
There are snakes everywhere, not the animal, but still true. Yes, hey, that's fair.
That's true.
Maybe that's what they're talking about.
Our sound engineer. I got to tell you, the best comments we get, y'all. Here you go. There's our question for the day. If you know the name of our sound engineer, we've said it in every single show, so go back. He is the one that puts in the funniest comments. I know he has his own show and stuff too, so make sure you are watching it. But tell me his name, write in, and you can win a ride at Off-Road Rentals in Palm Springs, California.
There you go.
Do not say his name for the rest of the show.
The man behind the funny. All right.
I was like, do not say his name for the rest of the show. This is going to be like our trick. I'm looking at my intern. I'm looking at Alexis. I'm like, do not let me speak. Like, don't let me say his name. Tell me his name.
All right. I mean, we can pull the mic out of your hands if you want.
That you may need to, like, elbow me in the face.
We'll go from here and see how everything plays out.
You have some comments. I think it's your people.
Oh yes, we have of course Sniffy as always. Dean K. Piper, welcome to the show as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us and commenting. Looks like he's advertising tickets to a Pipe Man radio
tour. Read it up. This is Dean's station. Dean wants you to read it. You bloody read it. Dean, you are Dean's bitch. I'd like to remind everyone, every time we use bad language, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and Free MMA. We swear because we care.
Fuck yeah. So, okay. Dean K. Piper tells everyone subscribe for a chance to win tickets to music festivals plus bonus adventures on the Pipe Man radio show, radio tour. The link is posted right there. I'm not going to read the link out loud, but anyone can go in the comments and, of course, read it and click on it themselves.
I like that.
That's awesome. Okay, well, and now that I'm aware of that, I'm very happy to help him push it out there. I want to tell people
you are Dean's bitch. Whatever he says you do, you do.
Listen, I'm like so far down on the totem pole. I don't get to know
he didn't even know.
I'm like a Walmart I'm a Walmart clerk. I don't get to know who the owner is. I just do the job. All right,
dude. You have the weirdest. I have to tell you guys. Usually in my job, Alexis and I, Alexis, for those that don't know, is my personal secretary.
Yeah.
Our conversations are things like, hey, we should go to Milan. We have Fashion Week coming up. Since we started working with MMA fighters, we were invited out to the home of Walmart. My friends are in Milan. And where are we going, Lex?
Is it Benton something? Bentonville. Yeah, the home of Walmart. I thought that was so cool to go out.
That is how they're trying to sell me on
I had a fight out there. I don't know if we still do, but that was really cool.
The home of Walmart.
You know they have to have the best Walmart out there, right?
Do you know how many diamonds I wear?
1.
Stop counting them. The point is, like, I'm going to go out there and someone's going to be like, that's a nice rhinestone collar.
Or they'll steal it. Depend on there you go to.
I need paste.
Paste for what?
No, paste jewelry. It's a kind of jewelry.
What is that?
So paste is like you take a really expensive diamond, like my big ass diamond ring.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so you would get a copy of that, and rather than being set in platinum, it would be set in like silver. And then rather than being a diamond, it would be a white sapphire. It's essentially a way to be real jewelry but bring the value down. It's a copy.
Yeah. All right.
And it's done so that.
Why not just get play jewelry? Just go to Walmart. You can go to the Walmart in Bentonville and you can buy yourself some fake jewelry. Don't. I saw that coming.
I'd like to remind everyone, any violence you see on the show, he deserves.
That's not even for charity. It's just hitting me at this point. Listen, I think
you just suggested I wear jewelry from Walmart.
Don't look down on people at Walmart. Sometimes they have decent stuff. You know,
I didn't look down on the people at Walmart. I think Americans especially are some of the hardest working people on the planet.
There you go.
This is one of the only countries in the world where you have genuine upward mobility. Where I come from, you die in the class you're born. I was lucky enough to be born in, yes, my family financially was not the wealthiest, but we certainly weren't poor, and I was born titled.
You forgot the EN. Don't hit me.
Now, as my ex-boyfriend was saying.
Oh, man. As I was saying, we should be buying jewelry from Bentonville, Arkansas for you, right? For your pasties, plasties. What do you call them? Plasters?
Pasties go on your nipples under a dress.
I don't know what you'd call the fake jewelry. That's supposed to be a dupe.
Paste.
The paste. There you go. Paste. I was close.
No,
That's
you go
fair.
to a jeweler for paste.
All right. We'll go to a jeweler in Bentonville. You got it.
I do have a new tiara coming on.
It was funny. I
have a tiara. Well, Lex got me a tiara.
Yes.
I like that. I know, but I've got a pretty diamond tiara coming in. I'll show you all next week.
Okay.
I love there you go. And it doesn't come from Walmart.
If I found you a $50,000 piece of jewelry from Walmart and I found you the same $50,000 piece, screw it, it's $60 now from K Jewelers, would you be any more happy?
If you buy me something from K Jewelers, I will leave you.
What's wrong with K Jewelers? How about Jared's? He went to Jared.
Stop advertising crappy jewelry stores.
All right, fine.
Besides, we have a
wonderful jeweler,
sponsor.
Matthew Moore's Fine Jewelry, the best one in the world. Go buy his stuff.
It's literally my brother.
You got to go to his Facebook page, though.
It is literally my brother. He's inexpensive and it's top tier jewelry. But cutting that out,
inexpensive is a broad stretch. I think he's cheap for the market he's in. But
he's inexpensive for the market he's in.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
You're in trouble. You better buy me something shiny. I'd like to remind everyone. Oh, but no, and I get it. And economically, it is a rough time. As much as I'm bagging on Walmart, I actually shop at Walmart. I do all the time. I do my grocery shopping at Walmart. It's when my friends are like, "Hey, we're going to Fashion Week." They're like, "Where are you going?"
Walmart.
The home of a Walmart.
Even if you didn't know, I was. Do you know
how hard it is to be bougie? And like show off with my friend. I'm like such a bitch. I'm like, I want to show off with my friends a little bit. They're like, look what I got off runway. I'm like, look what I got out of a cage.
You just, first of all, okay. Second of all, you said I can't be advertising it, but we have a wonderful comment from our sound engineer that I want to say. Say every kiss begins with K and kisses have cooties, not recommended.
Oh, I like that. That's perfect.
Yeah. So
if you don't want cooties,
don't shop there.
Yeah. Actually, they do rip you off. That is problematic.
Oh, all right.
We do have to give a quick shout out, though. Thank you to Bellamy Hair Extensions. Yes. Thank you to Tiny Bubbles Hair Salon. Tousled Mane. She does all my highlights. I also have to give the disclaimer. She's my sister-in-law. I get my jewelry from my brother, my hair from my sister-in-law, and it's fabulous.
It's like 5% bias, 95% legitimate great work.
Well, actually, I have lupus. So for an extended period, my hair fell out. And I was always known for having this incredibly long, blonde, curly hair.
Yeah, that's true.
So what my sister-in-law started doing was she stopped dyeing. She started highlighting. So it gets lighter as it goes down, but she'd highlight from the roots. And she's very gentle with my hair. And I'm really, really grateful for her.
Yeah,
I really am.
Fantastic at what
and
she
so
does.
I go to her, or even when I'm in Phoenix, like Victoria Sandoval does my makeup. She does one of the greatest makeup artists in the world. She's also on the Arizona Film Commission. So I'm very lucky that I have very talented people because I do have so many medical conditions. I've always been an overachiever. We're all dying from the minute we're born. I'm just better.
Yeah, you're really striving there.
But she really does save my hair. And of course, you have Off-Road Rentals, who is always our sponsors. We always do our shout out there. We're actually doing a cross promotion with Off-Road Rentals and Pacific Sunwear during Coachella. You all should check that out. It's really, really cool.
I want to get back to that because you could just say PacSun. Why do you say Pacific Sunwear?
Because if you're buying outside the United States, it's not PacSun. It's Pacific Sunwear. The company is Pacific Sunwear. PacSun is how they started doing it because of the social media hashtags and things. But if you look up Pacific Sunwear, that's what you'll find.
I love this education. And on top of that, hey, Our hotel sponsor, Embassy Suites by Hilton in Phoenix, Arizona.
That you will not
never forget that one.
That he will not be going to. He's not going to be at Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Yeah, I'm not going to be at Phoenix.
He's going to be getting kicked in the
Mexico, in Monterrey, Mexico, kicking ass.
Getting kicked in the penis.
I really hope not. That's possible. Let's be real.
Please let it happen at least once and get it on camera.
No, I don't want that.
Oh,
because then we'd have to pay their subscription to get the footage.
All right, back to back, he has fights.
Yeah, 5 days in a row from the 4th to the 14th. I know it's 10 days, but it's only 5 days of fighting. And then we're headed back. Stateside. And my wonderful manager, Alexis, will be there with me because I don't speak a lick of Spanish and I don't want to get lost.
Which means I don't have her for cons, so I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Stop taking my stuff.
You know, the topic of today's book talk, we have done no book talk at all.
I know. We've got a BookToker on and I'm pissed you're robbing me.
All right. I'm sorry I'm robbing you.
Stop taking my stuff.
No, it's so useful. I'm sorry to talk about you as if you're an item, Alexis. Thank you so much for helping me.
She's incredibly talented. Did I tell you all how I met Alexis?
No.
She came in for a job. She was 18. And she came in when I was hiring an assistant. She had no experience. I told her, no, I'm sorry, you have no experience, essentially get out. And she looks at me and says, your skirt costs more than my car. I don't know what you do, but I want to do it. And you're going to hire me and I will work harder for you than anyone else ever has. I, of course, said no. She refused to leave. And
you called the cops and she got arrested.
No, it's in all seriousness. That was actually something very similar that I said when I was hired over at Paramount by Brad Gray.
Gave you some nostalgia.
And gave me some. No, if somebody is determined because they want more, they will do well. It's the people that don't want more that don't do well. And I can tell you, I've worked with Lex for almost a decade.
Yeah.
She is one of the most talented people in the world. She went from being an intern to an assistant to a producer, to an executive producer to strategist, and now she's my personal secretary. So really, she is the most talented person I've ever worked with.
Yeah, you tend to work with a lot of talented people.
I do. Well, you look at Yana Alul, formerly Kovas.
Yeah.
She was a Russian spy before.
She's not a Russian spy.
She was a Russian spy.
She was not a Russian spy.
Alexis, back me up.
I believe from the stories, her mother was once part of...
Alexis agrees she's a Russian spy.
Fine, she's a Russian spy. I don't feel like arguing with it today. It's not my circus, not my clowns, not my circus, not my monkeys. Yeah.
Well, we are talking about book talk today. I have to let you all know. So there is a best-selling Amazon bestseller, receiver of many. We have the IP. It was written by Rachel Alexander, which got us really into book talk because we're having this made into a TV series. And then we found the coolest book talker you've ever seen. Do you want to intro her?
Yes. Welcome to the show, Ayman, whose name rhymes with Damon.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. We're trying to be really well behaved because you're on. He even tried to clean up his language. We've failed so far.
It didn't work at all.
No worries.
Well, thank you.
I follow you online. I know
thank you.
You are really she's like, so I'm on a show because the lady creepily follows me. Awesome.
Oh no, please. I love it. Thank you.
What got you into doing this? Book talk is such a specific thing and such a niche, and you are at the top of that world. I mean,
oh my God,
those that don't know you or are just here because he punches people in the face. A book is something that you open and it's like a movie, but in your brain.
Fuck, you're explaining a book?
Literally. Yeah, I found this community literally when it started. I've always loved reading for most of my life. Book Talk is literally just the book community, the people that love to read. On TikTok, that's literally what we are. I've been in the book community since I was 12 years old or something, just watching people on YouTube. And I've loved reading for most of my life. And I literally stumbled upon this community during quarantine when we were all locked at home and had all this time on our hands and we were all just bored. That was me. Some people picked up yoga, some people did all these arts and crafts. I found books again.
Love that.
Found books again.
I love she says when she was 12. You still look like you're 12. Very young looking.
Please. I'm sorry. Thank you. But this community is great. It's so diverse. There's a space for everybody. At the forefront, it seems and it is that romance is so heavy around it. It's the number one genre, which as it would be because most women are reading this genre. But no, yeah, it's very diverse, and like the genres that people read and promote and the authors that they talk about. I follow so many creators that just like focus on sci-fi or I don't know, like fantasy, and like I like to dabble into like pretty much every genre besides like nonfiction.
What's your favorite?
Romance. I'm a romance girl. Yeah, through and through. Like number one, will always probably stay that way until the day I die. I can't lie.
When I was like, I'm going to say this. We've got a live stream on in the background. I know my family's watching, so I'm about to get in trouble for this. When I was like 12, my mom was really into the bodice rippers. Like the
yeah, like the rip bodice, yeah.
I would go in and steal those.
No, my gosh, yeah, like, oh my god, that literally reminds me of like going into the grocery stores and like seeing those books like on the aisles, and just like I would just like get flustered at like 11 years old seeing those and being like, what is it about? But like I started reading like online like during when Wattpad was really like prevalent and like you know, yeah, I started there. Like the things that I was reading at that age, I think we have to save that for the next episode. But
no. It is. It's one of those, you do get into some stuff. You're like,
no, right? Like I look back and I'm like,
might need to that later.
What was I reading? Like, why did I romanticize werewolves, kidnapping, like people, and then them falling in love and their fated mates? Like, I don't know. It was an era in my life. It was a time.
It's very specific. It's boy meets girl, boy rapes girl, boy and girl.
Literally. You can't say that.
Yeah.
You can't say
no,
that.
but it's true, and it's so
crazy. It is true.
He's trying to get us not flagged. This flag.
Oh my god.
That's the bodice rippers. Like it's always. And the worst of it is, and Fabio was always on the front of the bodice rippers, and on Wattpad they're always Harry Styles based for some reason.
Yeah, I was there too. Like when that was all going down, like One Direction, kidnapping, the main character, like the mother sells the daughter to One Direction.
I know.
And like I used to eat that up. I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is love, you guys. Like I want this when I grow up. Like I don't know what was wrong with me.
Well, it's like
there's nothing wrong with it. No, it's a thing that
it's like 50 Shades of Grey. If he wasn't rich, that would be a CSI.
Oh, for sure. If he wasn't rich, like I'm calling the cops, you guys. So yeah.
Trailer Park is 300 pounds old.
Yeah, no. This is not.
No, it's crazy. Like, and then I'd be thinking like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is love. Like these are my standards. This is what I want when I grow up. Like, damn, my like 12-year-old mind. Wow. Like, and it wasn't just me. This was like every girl my age. The media that was like presented in front of us, whether it be Wattpad or what was on TV, how it infiltrated us. Cause like, even I remember like the TV shows I used to watch on like ABC Family, like Pretty Little Liars and like those like teen shows. And literally like those shows are pretty like you look back on it and you're like, oh, that was really problematic, and like why did he do that? That was low-key rape and sexual assault. Why did she fall in love with her teacher who was twice her age? Me, I'm like, yeah, that is such so cute. Yes.
I want to point out that Glee falls right into that category.
It did. So did Gossip Girl.
So hard.
So did Gossip Girl. Even Hannah Montana at points, and that was for like little kids.
Yeah, that was for little kids, and like I'm pretty sure there was like cheating in there too. Like why was that influenced to us like little girls? You know what I'm saying? Like
all of that was put together by one guy over at Nickelodeon. He did all these.
Oh, yes.
And he turned out to be a total creeper.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and like
now I
all
think
those
jail.
I think so too. Yeah, and all those like childhood stars are coming back and telling their story. Like, yeah, he used to like service alcohol underage and all these things, and I'm just like, wow. So you guys are all survivors here, is what I'm hearing.
There's a whole episode about Victorious's feet. I'm like,
yeah. Literally, I remember watching those shows, and like every one of them, something had to do with like feet. Like it would be this like comedic thing that they'd infiltrate in so many of their episodes. And even back then, I look at it, I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. Like, why are we drawing like smiley faces on their toes?
People are already in this topic. Look at how many dicks are in Disney movies. They're all over the place.
Okay,
Oh yeah, like adult like content, low key. Like
yeah, absolutely.
I work with a
slithered in there,
and they think they could slip it in there in the age before the pause button. Basically, if you look at The Rescuers, there's actually a topless chick in one of the scenes. Google it. In The Rescuers, there is a photo of a topless chick. And let's not even talk about The Little Mermaid. That was done as a joke. He thought it would get flagged, and when it didn't, he didn't want to say anything, so he didn't want to lose his job.
This is new information to me. Wow.
There's penises all over.
Ren and it's probably the worst show you could ever watch as a kid, to be honest.
What was it? Cow and Chicken, the Rug Munchers.
I'm not familiar with that. I remember like looking back, there's so many like adult references and stuff like that in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
SpongeBob, like that cartoon. There's so many like certain things that they say that like low-key, like you could tell they're hinting at sex or something like that. And I'm like, damn, like even my mom would be watching this in the background. Why didn't she like look like flag that?
Why didn't she stop it? Why didn't she turn around and be like,
No, right. She like hated SpongeBob because of like his voice. She was like, that's the most fucking annoying voice I've ever heard in my life. Turn that shit off. And then me and my siblings were eating that shit up. And then looking back, like seeing people like post about it, like, okay, yeah.
He did get done all the time. He did start off when that show started off when I was a kid. Like he was smart. You were learning stuff about marine biology.
And then jellyfish. Yep.
I adopted my first kid. I'm like, hey, have a look. I used to watch this when I was little. You'll love it. I watched one episode. I was like, guess what's banned in our house?
He just really did. That was it.
Yeah, that's so true. I learned about marine biology a whole lot watching SpongeBob, but like I didn't even know a sponge was like an animal, like a sea creature. Like I didn't know sponges were like a thing. I thought like that's what's next to the dishwasher. That's not real. That's not alive, but it is.
Then I thought I remember thinking that means a loofah must be an undersea sponge that died. Then I found out it was.
Oh, okay.
I was not very bright. Not a bright kid. Now, so you were into books, you were into reading your whole life, you were into Wattpad, which is a dead giveaway, which means you definitely have some like really broad taste because those books were not written by authors. They were genuinely free-flowing thoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, people
a lot of them were written by kids. I can't lie. Like there is some 15-year-old who says like English is her second language. Apparently her dog got run over. She like has like the worst trauma around her or something like that, but she will upload every single chapter at the end of the day. They write the best stories. I can't lie. Like it's honestly, I'm not even kidding. It is other like 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds. Even today, sometimes I'll read some fanfics and find out like a minor wrote that, and it's low-key the best thing I've ever read. I'm like, damn, like this generation is crazy. It's crazy, man.
I think they had to be. I mean, you look at the pandemic, you get locked down, kept away from people. Your life is your imagination.
Exactly. No, yeah, like that's how I went about. Like I would just doom scroll onto TikTok, and then all of a sudden my entire 40 pages BookTok content after another. And even at that time, like in 2020, no authors or anything, they were not publishing, they were not writing books. Everyone was like not doing anything. So a lot of the books that became popular were like books written like 10 years ago or like even 5 years ago.
That I ended up, so a couple of the IPs, a couple of the TV shows I'm making currently simply because they got popular on TikTok, on Wattpad places, and it got really, really popular. If you look at that Anne Hathaway movie where she was the older woman dating the other guy based on Harry Styles.
Oh yeah, the Idea of You, yeah.
Yep. That one, same thing, got popular there.
No, right. And that was originally a Harry Styles fan fiction, like between an older woman meets Harry Styles at a concert, and then they fall in love. The book apparently, like I read it, I had to do a sponsorship on it, and we were supposed to compare the book to the movie. In the book, they don't end up together; they break up. In the movie, they end up together, and I'm like, interesting. There you go. Yeah.
Well, one of the things we're doing the one of the IPs I have is Receiver of Many. That led to a whole series of Greek mythology coming out. A Court of Thorns and Roses was based on Receiver of Many. A whole bunch of books were based on this book. And so we're doing this, and I'm reading this and arguing with the studios because the author here, she's not not a young kid. She's quite popular, but she started on Literotica, of all places, Wattpad and Literotica. And the way, but same thing. It ended up this very. The studio wants to clean it up a lot. Ooh. They're like, okay, we cannot have Hades raping Persephone. Like that's the actual story.
That's the actual story. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we don't want her to
bleep out all of this.
we popular. My apologies.
Just put a jingle. No us. Come on, help us out.
But no, yeah, there's so many like of those Hades Persephone retellings throughout like the popular books on BookTok.
She actually started them about 10 years ago.
Nice.
And it led to this whole cycle, and that's hence I bought hers because it was the first. But the problem with it is, with all of these retellings, everyone's like, okay, I'm going to make Persephone the aggressor. And I'm like, okay. Then you've got everyone getting mad, or they're like, okay, we're going to do, they'll change things. I'm like,
just make it a little bit different.
Well, I have no problem with that. But if you have to stick to Greek mythology like it's a religion, it's not a common religion today, so why bother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like I've heard that like narrative kind of a subject throughout, like people talk about it throughout the book community, like doing any sort of Greek mythology retelling can be kind of like touchy, like a touchy subject. There's going to be people like, oh, absolutely not. Like, I don't want to read that. Get that author away from me. Like, I don't read anything like that. And then there's other people that really eat that stuff up. And it's really two sides of the same coin.
Okay. Your community is crazy. Do you know how I got that IP? Her fans chased me down while I was speaking at Comic-Con. They followed me for 3 days. I was there to tell people how to get their projects made into films. Here's how a comic book gets made. Here's where it gets picked up. Her fans printed off her entire book. They went to Staples, printed off the entire first book of the series, followed me around Comic-Con for 3 days, and dozens of them, to get me to look at this book. And I'm like, oh.
Die-hard fans.
I'm looking at it, and then I look at your community. I'm like, y'all are crazy. When you guys care for an IP, you care for that book.
Oh, for sure. No, yeah. Like, I was talking about this whole thing about basically how this community acts like a cult in a way, like the other day. And I'm like, it's so true, because it's very like, if you say any sort of ill wit thing that's not the common opinion in this community, you are done for. You are dragged on the internet. And a lot of people from outside of this community wouldn't think that. There's like, oh my gosh, like book girlies, like they're so smart, they're so cool, they're so cute. No.
They're crazy.
Like, these girls are vicious.
Can't that be a double-edged sword? Because you can have one side that thinks a book is terrible and the other side thinks a book is great, and you say
absolutely,
you get torn apart.
No, yeah, like respecting each other's opinions is just not a thing in this community. Like,
you are one of the you're one of the most popular BookTokers. How do you handle that? Because I mean, you were talking about diehard fans. If you go in and say you don't like a book, I've read some of the comments in your sections and things, and
no, yeah, these girls, these people that are in this community, you say one thing bad about like their favorite book, and no, yeah, they'll drag you to filth. Like on my TikTok specifically, I don't necessarily talk about a lot of the negative things that I think about in like whatever books, or if I didn't enjoy a book, I'll just leave it onto Goodreads, because I'm like, okay, these are my like true opinions. These are my very unfiltered, raw, and everything. Because I also fear sometimes, like, if the author might see my negative review and like block me or something like that. That's happened to so many like people in this community. Like, an author sees their negative review, they get blocked, and it's like, okay, well, authors shouldn't be seeking out their reviews anyway.
So rather than learning and going, hey, okay, they found this unrealistic or they found this problematic, their thing is, you're the problem.
Exactly. I'm just like, I didn't write the book, you guys. I just read it.
What does blocking even really do?
Exactly how adults handle problems.
Yeah, it's just like that block button. It's everybody's favorite button in this community.
If I'm reviewing your item and I can put your name to the item, block me all you want. I can still talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still gonna talk about it. Like, I want to give everybody my real and honest opinions about what I like and what I don't like.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like.
Want it associated with them, like what it's doing is stopping that negative review from attaching.
Yeah, like I've made videos in the past in which I'm like, okay, guys, if you don't like a book that I like, or vice versa, if you like a book that I don't like, I'd rather not hear your opposing opinions than you try to change my mind. Like, write it in your diary, please. Like, I don't care about your opinions.
That's funny. That's a great way to keep the hate away too.
Well, I'm going to ask a very controversial opinion. What is the best book you've read and the worst?
Okay. The best book that I've read is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It's this historical fiction book about this woman who's cursed with immortality, and it's literally, it follows a character. It's her life through 300 years, and she meets this man in a bookstore who I also forgot this one tidbit. Basically, she's cursed with immortality, and people forget her. So if she walks into a room, she walks out, that person forgets of her existence. So she kind of lives throughout eternity as a ghost because she cannot be remembered or anything like that. And it's basically about how she leaves her mark on the world, and she meets a guy in a bookstore who can remember her. So it's kind of like, how does this happen? It's magical realism. There's a little bit of romance in it. It's so good. It's so well written. It's like my top book of all time. I don't think that will change anytime soon.
I'm gonna have to read that and probably buy it now. Thanks. Is it a TV show yet?
It did get picked up to be a movie, I believe. The last I've heard is like they have a director attached to it. I heard that news, I think, about 2 years ago. I'm not sure where it is at like right now, but I know like the rights for it being a movie got bought, I think, by Netflix, but I could be wrong. I forgot the name of the director that's attached to it, but she's a woman. And like, okay, we're good. I think we're in good hands.
I hope it's on Netflix. Every time they get
Netflix is like a hit or miss when it comes to book to movie adaptations. And especially like if it becomes a TV show, sometimes like it can be canceled. Like Netflix is so notorious for canceling their amazing, great shows. Yes.
Residuals. They're like, after, okay, you get the season, maybe 2 seasons, but we're not, because at 3 you get residuals, you're done.
Yeah, literally. And like every season is like 3 years later. Like by the time like, you know, I get the next season, I'm close to my 30s. Like, Netflix is just it's hard to trust those folks.
You may not be invested anymore.
Get bored. That being said, I work for Netflix quite often, so I love you, Netflix.
Oh yeah, like Netflix, they sponsor me sometimes, so like keep the money coming, guys. I love you guys so much.
Love you. We love it. Pay us. I love that. How come she gets?
How did you get was that one?
I did not even realize I could do that. Like I just did this. Okay. Okay. That's so cute.
Hold on.
Give it a try.
Does mine do that? No,
I'm on my iPad. Maybe that's why.
Oh, that's crazy. I like that. That's a nice little feature.
That's fantastic.
It reminds me like on FaceTime, there's like certain symbols that you can do, like this or something, and then something comes up. I think even like this, I don't know, like people. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny because like sometimes I talk with my hands a lot, and on FaceTime, and like it literally just triggers it. Like I'll be telling like a sob story to my best friend, and all of a sudden this like filter gets triggered, and I'm like, oh my god, like
PDM in the background.
Yes, I'm like, please, like FaceTime is so funny. But
okay, so your worst book. This is where it's gonna go. What is the worst book you've ever had to read for BookTok?
Okay, so I read this because my friend enjoyed it, and I thought I would really like it, but it turned out to be like the worst book I had ever read. I didn't even finish it. It was like 600 pages. Anyways, the name is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. And then the thing about it, it's a romance story. It's small town. It's between these 2 characters, and it's low-key like grumpy ex-sunshine. Like the man is super grumpy and the girl is like super sunshiny and like this and that. And then there's also this kid involved who's her niece, and she's 12 years old. And these main characters, right, they're like 30 years old or something. Why was the most mature character in that book the 12-year-old? Like it was so like chaotic in the sense of like the actions that they would take as like, you know, grown adults with like a full frontal lobe. There's this one scene where the main love interest, like the man, pees in his backyard with his dog. You have a house with multiple bathrooms. Why are you peeing in the backyard? Like,
it's and nice then
sometimes. Like I don't mean, if I was a man, maybe I would. Like,
you got a reason here.
When have you?
Yeah. I can't say that I have. I'm just saying that it's, you know.
I'm just like, no, he takes his dog out to go use the bathroom, and it's like, you know, early in the morning, like 6 a.m. And then she's like seeing him also pissed with his dog. And that turned me off. I was like, no, thank you.
Like,
Maybe it's
is this like
convenience. You're already out there.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, maybe if I was a man, I would if I could. But then again, like, I do have a bathroom. I do have one. Why won't I use it? Like,
there's no hand washing after that. But on top, maybe he's like potty train. Is it a puppy? Is he like potty training the puppy?
This is like a big dog. This is like a grown dog. This is not a dog that he just got. This is a dog that's been in the family. And I'm like, oh, interesting. And then like there's banter in this book as well, but the banter just sounds like bullying to me, the way that they're coming at each other. And I'm like, why is he Loki being mean? This is not it. Like there's this, they get together, but then they break up for a little bit. And then he tells his brother, oh, you can have my leftovers, referring to the woman in the scenario. And I'm like, if a man called me leftovers, somebody would die. I'll tell you that. But no, yeah, like it was just like, I'm reading a romance book. I'm reading this because no offense, but like men are better in romance and in fiction than real life for the most part. And then I'm reading it and I'm like, this reminds me of like real life. Like it was horrible. I'm like, this is supposed to be a romance book. I'm supposed to be rooting for these characters, but I low-key want them to die. Like
but once you're like leftovers, was this written by Andrew Tate?
That's what, like, because like the only reason why I kept going and I didn't like immediately stop reading after the first 20 pages was because of the writing style. It was quite funny. I would read other books by this author for sure, but this was definitely a miss from her. I don't know what she was trying to do. She was trying to go out of the box with this, and I'm like, stay in the box, please. For this one, let's stay in the box. But no, yeah, it felt like that. It felt like a book from like the male gaze. I can't lie, like it felt like that. Which was surprising because like this author, she's written like many great books and this and that, and her writing style is very funny. Like she writes rom-coms and she really brings in that comedy like sense into all of her books, which is why I kept reading. But then I'm like, you know what, life is short. Like I can't waste my time reading this book when I know I'm gonna hate it fully. So I stopped reading after I think page 400 out of 600. It was also way too long. Like I did not. Why am I reading a romance book that's like a religious Bible?
That's not even like you didn't give it a chance. You gave it a chance.
Oh, so for sure, yeah. It's so hard for me to like you know, not finish a book. Like for me, even if I am not enjoying my time, sometimes like I gaslight myself. I'm like, no, something's gonna happen at the end. I'm gonna love it. Like let me give it a chance. Let me finish it. But no, this one was like, I think I lost like a significant amount of hair reading that. I was so stressed out. No. I needed to be done with it. And no, yeah, good riddance. At this point, like I don't really read a lot of bad books because I feel like my reading taste has like, you know, fully developed and, you know, matured over the years. So a lot of the books that I pick up, I know I'm going to enjoy at the end of the day.
You know, I would think that as this being not just like a hobby for you, this is, I imagine at this point a career, being Netflix.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You probably have a deeper emotional connection, whether the book is great or shitty. And so you don't really want to on things that are just going to tear you down and make you have a bad day, bad week.
I'm going to say, give a shout out to your social media, because if we get up talking and we get to the end of the show, I don't want the audience to miss following you. Tell me where they can find you.
All right. You guys can find me literally on every social media platform at Ayman's Books. Yeah. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of it. Ayman's Books. I don't have any different handle in. Yeah, that's me.
That's the right thing to do for that matter.
It is. That's correct.
Yeah.
We'll of course put up a link so you all know I follow her. Bear will lean over when I'm watching reviews and stuff and watch. Now, this is going to sound odd. Have you ever had somebody like the diehard fans of a book that you didn't like go after you?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think sometimes in like my Goodreads reviews, like I'll put like one sliver of like negativity or something like that about the book that I didn't like. And then the comment section will look like, oh, I'm stupid for having that opinion or something like that. When I first got on BookTok, I read a lot of the popular books like Court of Thorns and Roses and this and that. And I feel like especially a lot of people that get into this community, those are the first books that they read. And at this point, I feel like those are not the best books out there. Like there's so many other great books. I know they're popular for a reason because people love them. But I have so many like different opinions on them from when I first read them to like now. Like a lot, like I hate most of the characters in those books, I can't lie. And I feel like if I voice those opinions anywhere publicly, like I will be dragged. So I keep my mouth shut. I am silent. But no, yeah, like those
I love that. You're so funny and you're so like if you're gonna get a negative review from anyone, why not from you? At least it'll be funny and
right. Like with those books specifically, I don't like some of the male main characters for the way that they act and how some of the women are treated in those books. And then I voice those opinions, and all of a sudden it's like I'm dragged on the internet. Like, why would I come at their fictional book boyfriend, or anything like that? Like, my favorite character in that book is Nesta, which is kind of controversial because a lot of people hate that character, but I love her. I love her down. And then people are like, oh, she treated her sisters horribly, this and that. Blah, blah, blah. Like, those men have killed people. Nesta hasn't killed anyone. Like,
why do you think that community is so toxic? I mean, everyone gets emotionally invested to a point, but that's an exceptional thing.
I like that. I want to answer that, and then I have a very important question.
For sure, yeah.
So I do want to hear that though.
No, yeah, like I think it reminds me of how like a lot of people have parasocial relationships with celebrities and they think they know them. That's the same with these fictional characters, when it's literally like I love my books, I love my fictional characters, don't get me wrong, but like at the end of the day, these are words on paper. This is like, this man is not real. He would not defend you. He's not coming out of this book and like coming here to save you or anything like that. There's no reason to go to these lengths defending these fictional characters when they wouldn't defend you. You know why? Because they're not real. That's it.
I keep having a conversation with people. Robert Pattinson's not Edward, and do you really want a 115-year-old pedo hitting on a high school girl?
Exactly, like, and he stayed a virgin for like 100 and something years. Like, I don't trust that man. He's hot, don't get me wrong, but like Robert Pattinson, I'm pretty sure doesn't he hate Twilight too? Like, I can't trust him.
He does. He
does. Like, I cannot trust that man. Like, but I do love Edward Cullen, don't get me wrong, but like I can see I can separate the two, like Edward Cullen, Robert Pattinson. I know they're two different entities.
Pattinson over Cullen, I'm just saying. Now, this is very important. What do you think of the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively situation? That's actually started because of BookTok.
Wait, can you repeat that? It cut off for like 2 seconds.
So Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively situation on BookTok, and one of the questions we got all over social media for you was, what do you think of that? Because if I don't ask that, your audience, my audience, and his audience will crucify me.
It's so, I don't even know. I don't really have a full opinion on it because like, I remember when it was all going down from, the book getting popular to the book being picked up for a movie to Justin Baldoni like being attached to it as the director, to Blake Lively being cast as the main character, to Justin Baldoni being cast as the main character, to the movie coming out, to people reacting to it, to the lawsuit and everything like that. It's so, I don't really have a full opinion on it at this point because it's like, it kind of reminds me of the whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation where like at first everyone was like, yes, Johnny Depp, he's such a victim, but then to like, oh well, actually they're both horrible people, to then like, okay, now Amber Heard is actually the victim in the scenario. So it's so hard to just like be like, okay, these are my set opinions when like something could come out in the future that like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't have said that, you know what I'm saying? It's such a touchy subject, but no, yeah, like for me, I always want to believe women. Like if a woman says she's been assaulted in any way, I'd rather believe a liar than like an actual person that has assaulted somebody, at the end of the day. Like I know there's a lot of incriminating evidence against Blake Lively. I know like people don't like her. I don't really like her as a person either. Like I think she's like her famousness comes from her whiteness as like a white woman. But like I'm sure Blake, or what's his name? Justin Baldoni is not the perfect person either. Like he also portrays himself as like this big feminist icon in like with his podcast and community, and like just like a man that is like this big feminist and this and that. And sometimes like those could be like, I look at that and I'm like, okay, I want to trust you, but at the same time a lot of like men can use like femininity and like the whole feminist aspect to like tell people like, oh yeah, I'm the one of the good ones, when really like they're one of the horrible ones. And you don't know until it's like too late. So it's so hard to be like, okay, I'm on this side or on that side, when it's like these are two people that like I'm sure they're horrible in their own right, or they've been like they've been.
I like that.
Yeah,
they both suck, and I feel like this movie should not have happened. I feel like, you know, Colleen Hoover is kind of a controversial author at this point in this community as well. Yep. And she has some other movies coming out for her other books, which I'm actually excited about. But like Justin Baldoni, like he can't touch any movie anytime soon. And no, yeah, I feel like these people, they have to lay low for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little
just
bit.
Step back, step out. We have 1 minute left in the show. What do you want to say to the audience? And then I'm going to tell everyone to follow you.
Okay. Read books. Read everything I recommend you, because my reading taste is very elite and I will never let you guys down. And no, yeah, follow me on everything. Let's connect, let's chat. I always love talking about books. And no, yeah, like I'm so thankful for being here talking to you lovely people. You guys are so cool.
Thank you.
I didn't get to half of the questions that the audience wanted us to ask, so I'd love to have you on again. So if you are willing, I'd love to have you on again.
Oh,
we cut out.
If you got a phone call, it cuts your audio off.
So thank you so much for joining us. I'm definitely having her on again. I love her. So you guys know I follow her. And thank you for joining us on Behind the Scenes. I'm going to send her a copy of the IP we have. And if she hates it, I'm having her on and she'll tell me
she hates it. Don't tell anyone.
No, I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Say it the way you said it to us, though.
Yeah, but you got to say it like it sucks. But I'm going to send her a copy of the IP we have. I'd love to actually have her do like a secret cameo in it. I'd love to get the BookTokers into the books made famous by BookTok.
That's cool. I like that.
I'm just saying. So I want to put her in a TV show. Guys, thank you for joining us. I'm the Baroness of Ayrshire and Glen Lyon, Summer Helene. We are on with my co-host. What's his face?
Bear Fiorda.
Fine, you can follow him too, I guess. And make sure to read. It's super important. The world sucks right now. Everything's on fire. Get smarter. Make some money. We'll see you next week. Good night.
This has been Behind the Scenes with the Baroness and Bear Fiorda. Only on Talk 4 Media.